First things first, though, if you're catching this right at the beginning, you should know that you don't need hundreds of rental properties. I'm going to talk today about what it's really like to own hundreds of rental properties and what our business looks like today. I try to come at this from the perspective of somebody who's trying to get started, but also maybe somebody who has lots of rental properties already and you're just trying to figure out where to go next. First things first, though, you should know that you don't need hundreds of rental properties, but it's not a bad thing to have if you can manage it. So, we're going to talk about what it really looks like, how to find them, how to fund them, and we're going to talk about the impact that this can have on you and your life, kind of your financial future. So, first things first, like before you jump into owning hundreds of properties, one of the questions you need to ask is what's a good deal to you? Because this is different for everyone. What's a good deal to you is probably going to be different than what a good deal is to me. But I'm going to tell you right now, a good deal to me today is a property where I can get all of my funds back within 6 months to 1 year via a cash out refi. This meant that it could be a single family house, it could be small apartments, it could be a larger apartment deal, it could be a commercial deal. Basically, when I'm looking at an opportunity, I'm looking at if I buy this property, can I renovate it, rent it out, and get all of my funds back within 6 months to a year? So I'm looking at the BRRRR strategy as my core strategy to buy rental properties. Also, I love deals where a property where I purchase it at a price where I can wholesale it, I can flip it, or I can rent the property out for cash flow. So I like deals where I have all three options. I can wholesale it if I want, I can flip it, or I can rent the property out and it'll still cash flow. These days, in general, if I'm putting something under contract, I'm probably wholesaling it to another investor, to a coaching student. That's why I teach my students to make sure when you buy something, you have more than one option with it. You don't just have to get stuck with one option. If I'm looking at a deal and it's not cheap enough where I can get all of my cash back out within 6 months to 1 year, I'm probably not excited about it. If I'm looking at a deal and I don't have the option to wholesale it, flip it, or rent it out, all three, then for me, it's something that I pass on. That's just the way that it works. So the more you get into this, the more you start to realize the money is not in the volume of deals that you do. It's not about how many you do. It's about the quality of the deals that you do. So when I hear somebody saying, "Oh, I did 100 deals or I did 50 deals or I got 500 doors," I know what that really means. That's vanity. What I like to think about is the quality of the number of deals. So, how much are you making on that one deal? How much are you making on the five deals versus the 500? Okay, you really don't need hundreds of properties. So, this is what a deal is for me right now in my business. Now, key principles that I still use right now for finding deals. Key principle number one, I treat finding deals like a business and not a hobby. Most people treat finding deals like a hobby. When they have time, they think about looking or they call people or they make offers. For me, I put systems in place where there's always deals coming to me. I post on social media every day because deals come from social media. And so every single month, we spend money on ads and we spend money on getting people to call us and tell us that they're trying to sell a property. In the beginning, you start as a hobby. You want to be sparing on your funds, but if you're going to quit your job and you're going to do this full time, you constantly have to be doing deals. And so we treat finding deals like a business. It means we're always marketing. We also have virtual assistants every single day. I have virtual assistants that are calling and making offers on properties. Principle number two, I spend time marketing all the time, not just when I feel like it. You want to make sure that all the time people are able to find you and they're able to take advantage of the services that you're offering. Ask yourself, what are some ways that you could spend time marketing all the time, not just when you feel like it? Yesterday, I saw this truck driving down the road, and on the side of his truck, on both sides, it said, I buy houses, I buy investment properties. And a lot of times that you only need one deal to make it worth doing something like that, where you're getting the word out there. You only need one relationship. Keep in mind that another principle for me to today is that your buying criteria has absolutely nothing to do with how much money you have. This means that you should not be shopping for your next deal based on how much money you have. This is how I would do it. If you're new, this is an important one. I would be thinking, I have 30 grand for a down payment. So 30 grand is 20% of 150. So I would be shopping thinking I can buy up to a $150,000 house with my 30 grand down payment. So all the deals above 150 grand, I'm not going to look at them, right? If there's more than one deal, I'm not going to look at that deal because I only have 30 grand. That's not how we should look at opportunity. Our criteria doesn't have anything to do with how much money we have because the money that you have is the money that you have. But you also have people in the group that you can talk to. You also have people that you know that you can talk to. Money is everywhere. So you notice that my criteria that I share with you all, very simple criteria that I shared here, has nothing to do with how much money that I have. I've done $1 million deals. I've done $15,000 deals. And strangely enough, the $15,000 deals are my favorite. But you can do deals of any size if you think about it like, can I get all of my money back within 6 months to a year with a cash out refi? Or is it good enough where I can wholesale it, flip it, or rent it? Now, your criteria might be different. You might be looking in a certain zip code. You might be looking in a certain city. I have some of those requirements as well. But generally speaking, this is kind of what I'm looking for. All right. So, marketing strategies that I use today. These are all of the marketing strategies that I use today. We text message, we cold call people. Basically, we take lists of property owners' phone numbers and we call them or we text them and ask them if they're willing to sell their property or if they're willing to hear an offer. I use virtual assistants. This is something that I've constantly used for the last 7 years. Virtual assistants are great because they can make offers for you. They can talk to sellers. They can warm up leads. They can follow up. AI is not on this list, but that's another tool we're starting to dig into to use to be able to get more deal flow. I go to local RIA meetings. You can't say that you're trying to grow a portfolio if people don't know who you are, but also this is where you could meet other investment partners, other lenders. This is where you could really grow your business. So if there's a real estate meetup, I want to be there. I want to go and give information so that I'm also seen as a resource. People will come to me later. I also really encourage you to get on wholesalers buyers list. Just give them your email address and start getting them to send you stuff. I get tons of wholesaler messages every single day because for years we've been putting our email out there. If I see somebody selling a deal on Facebook, I'll just drop my email there. If I'm somewhere where there's a sign-in sheet, I put my email there because it allows me to see the things that are being sent. Another thing that this does is it allows you to see what things are being sold for, right? So I like being on the wholesaler list because I can kind of see prices going up, prices going down, what the market is doing just based on what wholesalers are sending. This is a great strategy, especially if you don't want to do your own marketing or have cold calling or text messaging, all of that. You could just buy from wholesalers. Of course, you have to vet the deals. We already talked about branding vehicles, but you can also brand buildings. On our office, it says we buy houses on our office. We tell people that we buy properties. You can rent billboards. You can get on the TV commercials. We do post to social media every day. We do network with real estate agents and we do leverage other people's time. So if other people are doing deals, we're certainly willing to cooperate with other wholesalers, other investors, and work a deal together. That's another strategy that you're going to use. Print mail is another strategy. That's direct mail, where you're mailing ads to people's houses and you want them to call you and offer to sell you their property, or at least hear an offer on their property. Now, this may be overwhelming to somebody get started. This may be like, well, I'm not doing all of these. Like, where do I have to do all of these? Remember, I just told you this is if you're going to own hundreds of properties. You do not have to do all of these. You can pick one of these and do just fine. You can pick one of them and do it consistently and learn everything you can about it, and you can get leads. And you can have plenty of leads if you just pick one strategy. You could just pick that strategy and just keep meeting people, networking, telling them what you're doing, and you can find a deal that way. You could just post to social media, constantly post to social media, and you can get deals that way. But these are strategies that work to build a portfolio, and I'm just sharing with you to direct. This is what we do. Scripts and what to say. So you got to get really, really good at having a lot of conversations very quickly. One of the things you need to do right offhand is you need to get good at being able to look for seller motivation very quickly. If somebody's not motivated, get off the phone. If somebody's not looking to sell their property or they're not showing you that they're your typical customer, like you don't need to spend a ton of time with them. You do need to follow up with them. Follow up because motivation changes. Generally, on a call to get through it quickly, I overestimate repairs and timelines, which means I think it's going to cost more and it's going to take longer. I need to get through calls. I need to get through offers. That's where the deal flow comes from. But you're going to overestimate how much things are going to cost and overestimate how long it's going to take. This is help you speed up your decisions and it increases the number of offers that you're making. Once you realize that you're talking to somebody motivated, and once you realize that the numbers might be good, that's when I dig in. Okay. I had a lady last night, same situation. She's selling a house in Colorado. She's actually already left the house. I love that. The house is currently empty. I love that. The first few words she told me on the phone, I can't afford it. I love that. How soon are you going to sell this house? All of these are things that make me want to continue the conversation. Now, if I was talking to her and she said, I'm living in the house right now, I don't know where I'm going to go if I sell the house. We might be dealing with her for months. If I ask her, what kind of stuff does the house need in order to be repaired? Like, what does it need? And she says, oh, well, you definitely need to change the carpets and you definitely need to renovate the kitchen. You can overestimate these things, right? Just to see where she's at. So on this particular house in Colorado, Zillow says it's worth 600. She told me if she could get 420, she would be happy. So if I get 420,000, I'll walk away because I only paid 300,000 for this house and I know it needs some work and I need to get out of this deal ASAP. When I hear the equity difference there, I'm willing to dig deeper and have a conversation. But if she has said, I need to get 600 and Zillow says the house is worth 600, it's not worth digging deep on that person right now. Now, it is worth following up with them because people's situation changes. You just got to be able to identify who you're talking to and what to say. Always position yourself as the buyer and have confidence when you're talking to sellers. You don't want to position yourself like a partner because people are very anxious of dealing with third parties. So it's a good idea to position yourself as the buyer. And if you're not confident right now as being the buyer, then partner yourself up with somebody who is confident that way. And then you can be the buyer and you can have them helping you. Lastly, make offers that solve problems. I made an offer this morning. Basically, I have a guy who's getting ready to lose his house to foreclosure. And his biggest issue right now is that he doesn't want a foreclosure on his credit. That's the most important thing to him. He doesn't necessarily care about how much he gets back. He doesn't care about the price of the house is worth. He knows what the house is worth. But his most important thing, when I listen to him, everything is about his credit report. So when I position my offer to him, I'm not going to focus on the price. I'm not going to focus on interest rate. I'm not going to focus on anything else other than we are going to keep a foreclosure off of your credit report. I'm solving the problem that he has presented. So in this case, I can offer him a subject to, right? I can offer him something creative because his focus is not wanting the foreclosure on his credit report. Maybe I still offer something cash, but you have to listen to what their problem is and not just focus on price. Okay. This is the key strategy if you're going to own a bunch of properties. People ask me what VA company I use. I share it. There's a company called Phone Beast. They already train the virtual assistants. I can also help you find VAs. That's a service that I offer. So if you're watching this now or later and you're interested in potentially having a virtual assistant is going to cost you a little bit, like maybe 12 to $1,500 a month. But you have somebody constantly calling for you, constantly dialing for you, constantly texting for you. It's a labor of love. They're not going to magically find deals. It takes time and you got to invest in it over a period of time. But if you're having trouble sitting down and spending the time calling, if you're not getting enough leads, then this might be a strategy that could work for you. They can cold dial, they can make the offer, they can send a contract. These are the places where I get my lists right now. We use several different services to pull lists from. You could just pick one. You start to notice that a lot of them are pulling from the same data sources. So you get the same addresses, the same wrong phone numbers, and you have to just sort through it. That's part of the business. Okay, here's how not to find deals. And if this is you, you're not going to find any deals. So I try to think about myself when I was first getting started. If you spend a lot of time talking to unmotivated people, you're not going to find anything. And everybody loves calling somebody who will talk to you on the phone, especially if you get a nice elderly person, they'll talk to you forever, but they're not motivated to sell. Okay, you're not going to get any deals talking to people that are unmotivated. How do I know if they're unmotivated? They're angry, they're yelling at me, or they're just talking, but they never get to a point where you're going to actually make an offer. They're not going to move. We actually had one of these on one of our calls a few weeks back. These people live in the house right now. They're not going anywhere and they're way overpriced. Like, you're not going to find any deals like that. You're also not going to find any deals if you're only chasing unicorns. You know what a unicorn is? A unicorn is something that's rarely seen, if ever. So when you hear about somebody tell you about that real estate deal they did where they made $1 million on one deal and it only took them 30 days, that would be a unicorn. Those deals do happen. I have not found one, but I have had my share of unicorns over 7 years. You don't chase those. You chase base hits. You chase deals that will actually hit your profit target. And every now and then, when you're chasing the base hits, a unicorn will present itself. So you won't find a bunch of deals if all you're looking at is a home run. It's got to be a smoking gun. These days, we don't just do smoking guns, we do good deals. And every now and then, we find a unicorn. If you need too much information before you make an offer, you will not get deals. Remember, a deal is something where you can make a profit. It's something where you can get your money back if you're doing a cash out refi. And everybody is looking for deals. Okay, so I'm just going to ask the room right now. If there are two people that get a phone call about a deal, one person needs to see the property. They need to see the property twice. They need to call their realtor for ask for advice. They need to look it up online in 4 different websites. But this other person, they overestimates on repairs, they overestimate on timelines, and they make an offer immediately. Who's more likely to get that deal? The person who makes the offer. So you don't want to get caught in paralysis of analysis, because if you need too much information, you're going to miss it. Now, this does not mean that you don't act with due diligence. You still have to act with due diligence. So what I like to do is I like to make offers based on the preliminary information, and then I actually close based on due diligence. So I will make the offer based on general numbers, and then once I make the offer, I go in and get more specific. There is nothing binding. When you make an offer, there's nothing holding you to actually closing that deal. Okay, especially if it's a verbal offer or even if it's in writing, there's nothing like binding you to close it. And so I'll send an offer. And if the person shows that they're interested in my offer, now I start digging in closer and starting to try to figure out if it's a deal to be made. If you keep it secret that you're looking, you will not find deals. I know I've told before, you should be posting on social media. You should be telling your friends that you're looking for opportunity every chance that you get. When people see you walking up, they should know that you're a real estate investor. For years, when I got into this business, I was scared to tell people I was a real estate investor because people called me Dr. Crutchfield, and I was a former principal. That was my thing. And I wanted people to think of me as an educator, not as a real estate investor. But if you keep a secret that you're looking, you will not find deals. And so let everyone know what you're doing. Everybody needs to know. And until they start seeing you as that thing more than whatever your old thing was, they will keep bringing you your old thing instead of real estate. So make sure that you're telling people that you're a real estate investor. Last one, how not to find deals, not making enough offers. It's easy to ask you, how many offers have you made in the last 7 days? If you haven't made enough offers, you're not going to get enough deals. So you got to get out here and be constantly making offers and treat it like a business. How many offers do you think Apple is making every single day? They're always offering stuff. They're always offering a product. You got to present yourself where you can be making offers constantly. Okay. This is how you own hundreds of properties. This is how you own more. This is how you get to where you own more. I had another slide. Bonus. These are the best. This is one of the best kept secrets. If you want to do a deal right now, if you want to do a deal right now, this is the best way to get one done by far. If you're going to do a deal in the next 30 days, you're going to find the buyer first. So you find someone who's ready to buy real estate. If you're in my 90-day coaching program, you probably notice that one of the requirements for my 90-day challenge is I only deal with people who are actually ready to buy. If they are not interested in buying real estate, they're not in our program. In fact, if you tell me that you don't have to do a deal in the next 90 days, I don't work with you. Why? Because I'm using this strategy. So you might see yourself in this bonus, right? I find a buyer. Then I find out their buying criteria. Sometimes I even help them decide on their criteria, right? So if they don't know what they want to buy yet, we talk about it. What am I doing? I'm finding out her criteria, right? So then I go find it and bring it to her. I find a deal and bring it to her. And I build in a fee or take some equity in that deal. This is the best kept secret, right? This is the way to do it. So now, instead of me wondering if I find a deal, can I find a buyer? I found the buyer in advance. And the better you get at figuring out who the real buyers are, the more deals you can do this way. This works with wholesale deals. This works with flips. This works with rentals.